Or back to the
tense walk.
Yeah, you're walking down the hallway. He leads you to this.
Yeah, it's basically a long, skinny room with 2 chairs and a table at the end of it.
And he gestures for you to go in first. You walk inside. You hear the door shut, and then you promptly hear a thump. You look behind you. He's on the floor.
Wait, what?
He's on the floor. Unconscious.
Looks accusingly at the door. She cannot let anyone come through that door. That is. She's just like, she looks at him. He's unconscious. She's a drow alone. She's unknown drow too, not a friend. And she just stares at the door accusingly. And she's just like, is there a way to secure it? Because she's gonna secure that door because no one can walk in on that.
Yeah. You can. There's a lock.
Bolt it.
Yeah, you bolt the door.
It's just, she looks at the door. It's like, you did this. She just bolts the door. She's like, punk, and she just carefully, like, not sure how to. It's like royalty. Don't just.
How do I?
You know what? Screw it. And she just sort of gently like drags him away, and then she just like. And she's just looking at his body. She's like, why are you like this? Why? Why not at Luna? Why not at anyone? You know what? And she has this moment of panic where she's like, oh, you know what? You don't need to answer that. What's wrong with you? And she just... And she's quiet, but she's like, internal scream is at max level. And she's like, you know what? No, you don't need to answer that. Just, what's wrong with you? She just pats him down to see for like medical ailments. She's like, medicine check, arcana check, elf check, does not know, royalty check, is this something royalty does? And she's like, you know what I remember about you is that Uncle Rian said that you fainted at a devil appearing, so I'm just gonna assume that if there's not a devil in there, I just need it. So that's a 17 plus 0 for medicine because it's wisdom based, so she's got this flat 17.
So like your drow training comes back to you, you're like, you know, a little bit of field medicine, you check his pulse. His pulse okay.
Okay, he's alive. Well, thank you for that.
And then he like you check for like any sort of wounds or anything that or something that might have injected him, or you didn't find anything, and you like open his eye to like make sure that his pupils activate the right way.
Could dilate, yeah. Or
they do,
constrict.
and like it seems like he just fainted.
And I'm gonna make an arcana check because I don't trust it. She's like, it fell out as a
slaps him.
So my arcana check is 13.
Okay, so you notice that like he has like a low, it's like a high collar but like a low version of a high collar, if that makes sense, like the short one.
A low high collar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like not that big, and like you can see just a little bit of like a tattoo like poke up, and so like you can just like go down like a little bit, just like to like see like what's happening, and you see like a ton of arcane sigils just tattooed on his body. And so like you think you might be able to understand like what might be happening, but you'd have to like undress him more.
Looks accusingly at the door.
Doing with my...
And she She looks at the sigils, she looks at him, she narrows her eyes at him, and then she just like releases his colors like just... and you know what it's just like, and you know what the kicker of it is that if I leave that door, and if I leave you here, and if I try and spin any story, because they've already got the thing of lying down, we're gonna so it's going to look wrong. It's going to look wrong, and it's going to look wrong anyway. So thank you for having a bolt on the door, but fine, but she slaps him just a little bit to see if he'll wake up. She's like, you know what? How about we exhaust all the options? Smack.
And I'm like, okay, I'll see if he wakes
she's not gonna try hitting him super hard because she's got a 20 strength, so she doesn't want to hurt.
To kind of like wake him up a little bit, and
yeah, she like raised her hand like high. Yeah, she raised her hand. Yeah, she raised her hand high, and then was like, not military, still royalty. Pep. Like she's like, adjust. Okay.
So I rolled.
It's a history of fainting.
I rolled for like basically a con save. I got like an 8. So he reacts like a little bit to it, but he doesn't wake up. So like, I mean, on one hand, like he's reacting to things, so you're like, okay, like he's alive, he's okay, you know.
And she's like kneeling next to his body, like. I'm going to do this, but if you give me a look when you wake up, you're going back to sleep. In the middle of the Arcanic Empire, just grumbling to herself. This is her I'm allowed to panic because no one is watching mode. So she's just like, just hastily but very impersonal, like, all right, cool, I've dressed wounds before. Undoes tunic, like
undoes tunic. Yeah, like he has like side. It's like fastened through the side, like so, and then he can just kind of like open. So you're just gonna peel it back, and you can see like the sigils go across like under his collarbone, and then like down the body and down his chest, and
you know, make an Arcana check to try and decipher what these are for and what's going on and why they're on him.
That is a nat 20.
Ooh, very nice. So you decipher.
One sigil is actually like it indicates like some kind of spell to help regulate a heartbeat. And then a secondary one, there's one that's also, it seems like an actual, like a binding spell. Like he has something bound to him, like some kind of spirit.
Or an entity that is similar to that.
And it like is in conjunction with like managing magic output. So like you can gather like he has like health problems.
Yeah, she's staring there. She's just like looking.
Problems.
Yeah, she's looking at it. She looks at him. She looks back at it. She looks back at him. And you know what you could have done? You could have done this when the mage was here. Because she likely has something to heal you with. Or when the paladin was here. Because she has something to heal you with. It's terribly inconvenient. And I'm not here to chastise you for that, but this looks terrible. And just do up your coat.
Are you like aggressively like clothing him?
I'm just like trying to, it doesn't matter if the buttons are a little off. She's just like cinch a little bit. Looks, I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it looks like. And so she's just gonna, it's his office, right?
He said it was just like another antique.
Or it's like
It's not his office. It's just like another sitting room.
It's a sitting room where he would interview people that like it's not personal enough to be an office. Okay, so she's just like
And at this point, he stirs a little. Like, he actually, like, as you're fastening his clothing, and, like, he actually, like, you're so focused on that, like, he grabs...
I'm muttering under my breath,
he
too.
grabs your hand, and he says, it's fine. It's fine.
He says he's fine. Yes, it's just like, oh, well, I can tell that now. And she sort of like, if his hand is like this, she sort of just pulls him up pretty easily. If he does crumble back to the floor, and she's like, oh, well, never mind.
Yeah, like, he's just coming into consciousness.
If you try to pull him up, he'll just, like, not go with you. He knows he can't get up yet, so he lets his hand fall. He says, this sometimes happens.
Aye, does it?
And at this point, he managed to sit up a little bit on it and support himself on his elbows. And he says, well, I suppose that you pass any suspicions of regicide on my end.
And she's like, I highly doubt Ellie would appreciate me outing a new friend.
Probably not.
She's like, oh, Your Highness. Just like...
Yeah, there's a little bit of a smirk.
Smile.
I am jealous. Like, Ellie just, in the other room, Ellie just feels a pang of envy, and she's like, why do I feel this? Disturbance in the forest. She's just sort of like stares and she's like,
gestures at like his half-button clothes, and he's like, hey.
Runes. She's like, oh, runes. Want to see if there is a physical ailment. Don't worry. And then she's like, oh, don't look into it. She's like, don't, and then her eyes narrow, look into it.
No.
Because earlier she was like, oh, if you look into it, you will go to sleep. And she just remembers what she said. She's like, don't look into it. I felt it would be unseemly to go back into the hallway the minute we were alone and be like, oh, by the way. Optics, you know.
Yes. Probably right.
And he kind of like just fixes the shirt.
Ciara finds something interesting on the wall.
I know, it's just this awkward moment. And he says, I think I can stand now.
Offers him a hand.
So you help him up. Thank you for not killing me. And he goes to the chair.
Yeah. She brings him up to the chair and she's like, oh, but I'm not going to thank you for fainting on me.
But I don't think he'll thank me either. So let's begin this interview, I suppose.
Ciara sits down and she's like, still kind of like, she probably stays standing for a minute before she's like, sits, still upright, trying to, she's just trying to, focus. We were not panicking. We never panic in our life. I don't even know the word.
What's that mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it takes a minute to like compose himself.
Catching each other's eye like in the moment because they're both just trying to like yes.
So I just want to know who Ari is going to be spending time with. And clearly, well, Andrew told me a lot of things. You are not the only one. Actually, no. Oh, Elandro told me a lot of things. One of them was that the majority of the party is wanted fighting the drow matriarchy, which is surprising because they came with it well. He's just like,
And Ciara just like, it's the slightest smile. It's like, she's like, yeah, work that one out, will ya?
just like, I'm not sure what's happening.
Well, she's right about the being wanted part, but Deirdre is in no such an advantage. She's not she's still in an advantageous position with a drow, but
And now she doesn't have a bodyguard.
certainly not. She's like, oh, because Ellie told you everything, I'm sure, as she's told me.
Deirdre and I are also Vandals. He pauses to say Vandals. We're part of a group of mages that exchange information. We value anonymity to keep the flow of information out of the hands of political interest and just along the lines of knowledge and magical progress.
That tracks. She's just like, oh, hi, tracks with her. I'm one of Ellie's traveling companions, along with Luna. They picked me up on the way out of the on the way out of the... It's drow matriarchy? Or drow... Yeah. Yeah. So, on the way out of the drow matriarchy. Matriarchy. And she's like, oh... She's like, I was on my way out, and so were I, and here we are. She's playing close to the vest, but she's given him the, like, I'm leaving, they're leaving, I'm wanted.
Yeah. I see. So...
You know my uncle, obviously.
I take...
Not a nun.
He's like, I take it you, take after Rian. Lucius, as he goes by. Does he still go by that name?
I call him Uncle Rian, but everyone calls him Lucius.
I gave him that name.
She, like, betrays the love. And she's just like, oh, so... He left for reasons as not unrelated to why I would leave, but it is big out here. It is big out there.
Yeah, it's always difficult to leave. Which is always
And she's sort of like she's looking at him, and like it's just like there's like that little bit of chagrin, just like, because she had to leave, but it's like it's like I don't know how much, like in her brain she's like, how much should we tell him? I don't know how much should we tell him, but Ellie told him everything, but she doesn't know everything. But wait, no, oh god. And she's like, I'll stick to what you know. Stick to what you know. Remember what you told the lass. Little friend, yo, you get out of here. You are of no help. You get back in that attic. And she's just like, I've been mainly exploring with the other two. 3. It's just with the other 3. 2 now. Quite a few though. And along with some merry men. And uncle. But
so like while you're talking, there's a very bizarre experience because you feel like your shoulder just like it's like someone just has like a wet hand of like, you know, like, and just put it on your shoulder and it just like soaks your shoulder. Like, what is happening? Like mid-sentence that happens to you, so you react. and you don't see anything behind you. And Arceus is just like, sorry. Talise, stop bothering her. She said, and then there's like this kind of little bit of like a hair flick behind you. And it reminds you of Ellie's spirits.
Hey, you got friends like Ellie does?
Yeah, Talise is protecting you. You see him kind of like point at her, and Talise is always nervous. I don't know, but he's shy.
There's like this little bit of like a shuffle like around this part of what like the vestige she's wearing, and it's just like little tiny bat head.
Familiar. This is Oculus.
Pleasure.
Just this cheap.
I'm glad that he's a bat. I like bats.
Give me many things, but bat is the most familiar shape. Has enjoyed owl for a while though. Since going topside.
Yes, I could see an owl being useful topside.
Quiet flyers.
I was referring to their eyesight in the dark, but that too.
It was just like, yeah, cool. Cool.
Awkward.
And then he, like, there's this moment where he looks at you, like, a little bit longer than, like, strictly necessary, and then he goes, well,
They both do the same. It's like,
I just want Ari to be safe, and considering that you chose not to kill me when you could, it, leaves us on pretty good ground.
You'll see no attempts on your life by me. I'm not really in a position to be allied with the Drow Empire, So the Drow Prince, the Drow matriarchy right now. I got it. I got it. Ciara gets it. I don't. I struggle with nouns, so this is great. And so she's like, we're at a conflict of interest currently, and well, she's like, I'm more open to looking at the world around than I am about exacting vengeance.
oh, good to know. He stands up and he like offers like a hand for a handshake, and you shake hands. He says, "Well, it's a pleasure to speak with you, and let's start the friend to group."
yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you too. And she just like keeps shaking his hand, and it's just like, it's like this feels oddly comfortable. So it's uncomfortable that it's comfortable. So she's like.
Yeah, like he also notices that your handshaking is like a little bit longer than necessary, and the both of you are like, yeah, cool.
Yeah. I'm sure you can enjoy a little bit of irony from the situation here.
Definitely.
Right.
You endure an awkward and you're done.
Yeah. And as you guys walk out, like Ellie is sitting with Ari. And it's like, yeah, and that's pretty much everything you need to know about Ciara. And we've been together ever since. And like, she's like, yeah, she's just so cool. She just has everything together.
The scene of panic. If this were a cartoon, it just like
sounds
cut back and forth. Cutting back. It's cutting back and forth between her absolute panic.
Yeah, I don't know how she does it. She just knows things. I think she's
Wow, super wise.
Super wise.
Super wise. I think it's the whole Drow army thing.
Like they have. It sounds
specific,
pretty fierce.
Yeah, I think they have fierce training.
Have you ever heard of riding a bus?
Oh, hey, Ciara.
Good.
Hi, Ellie.
Ari, do an insight check on your brother.
Oh, sweet. Wait. Well, it's 18 on the dice. And then I don't remember what my insight is. Plus 4, so 22.
Yeah, you know him well enough to know that you enjoyed his conversation.
Wait, you cut out. Sorry, what?
You know your brother well enough to see that he enjoyed that conversation.
Do I know him well enough to know that he's not feeling well? Or has he disguised it by this point?
He's good at hiding it, but you know that he adopts like a certain walk when he's had an episode. And he basically like walks slower. That's also why the hallway was awkward, because he was walking slow.
The walk back is probably a little bit more relaxed at the start, but then as they get closer to where other people are, just becomes a little bit more rictus again.
Yeah, you kind of just slowly.
And face.
I'm just gonna give my brother this look that says, "Are you okay?" without saying it. Because he's my brother and he would know.
And he catches your eye and he offers just a very subtle nod. Fine.
Ellie made a hand gesture and then Ciara just like
So then you guys mingle a little bit more, and I don't know if they announce when like Randos leaves, but RTS leaves. Yeah, she's retired, and his guard goes with him, and you guys meet all of his staff.
Well, I'm gonna lean into Ciara and I'm gonna say, he liked talking to you.
Oh.
So did he?
Talked for a very long time.
Ciara goes to this faraway screaming place. Yeah, we talked the whole time. He didn't pass out once. Just like in her mental panic. And then just yeah, well, you know, you had to be sure.
He looked pretty happy when he came back. Tired, but happy.
Yeah, accurate. He had a long day.
And Ciara just probably glad that the interviews were over too. And then she like just sort of looks at Ari. She says that, but she looks at Ari and she's just like, so it's good to be a welcome guest. Better than being guest, it's good to be a welcome guest.
Okay, well,
As long as my punishment isn't too bad, I suppose this wasn't so bad after all.
yeah, these are okay.
And then Ciara just like looks at her and she's just like, you didn't get into too much trouble, but I would probably keep out the jailbreak part if he does ask about it.
Okay.
Yeah. And
No jail,
maybe
but
the
I wasn't
elevator.
going to tell them about. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't want to tell him of any danger, because if I told him of any danger, then he'd probably have a heart attack.
Ciara goes back to that screaming place and she's like, oh, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, you know, I can see that.
As Ellie hears Ciara's like, don't tell about any of this stuff, and she just like puts the pipe in her mouth.
Ciara slowly looks at Ellie.
Flashing back to her telling Artist, we're trying to steal some keys.
While Ari didn't steal any keys, she facilitated the stealing of keys and the escape after stealing keys.
But she herself did not partake of the stealing.
And nobody saw it was me. There was only a cat in the hallway.
He was just a cat. Kiara's just like, oh, I think you're pretty safe. He seems to be fond of you. I imagine so. She just like looks at her.
Yeah,
she
but
doesn't
I
know
can
how
get
siblings work,
grounded.
just so you know. She has Luna and her brother to go off of, but she's like, siblings. That's interesting. Fascinating concept.
He's like
You don't
a
know-
sibling dad, though. Ugh. He's always grounding me.
Just like,
Bad choices. That'll be fine. It'll be totally fine. Winds up with like a broken arm.
She remembers back to when she asked if she was a troublemaker, and she's like, oh, this lass is a troublemaker. She just... Yeah, thinking on that, she's just like, I think it'll be fine. I mean, you're safe and sound at home. Can't give him a heart attack, and you can't get into any more trouble, so you'll be fine. I think. Just like, I think.
I hope so.
And she's about to ask about the runes, but then she's like, nope, think about where they are. Think about where you are. Think about everything. Don't say it. Has he been ill for long?
has he been ill for long?
Why did I ask that?
You just said don't. It's looks accusingly at Ellie. It's catching.
She's just comfortable
How
around
do
the
you know
kiddos.
he's ill?
He seemed to be labored when he walked.
Well, yes, I did notice that.
She had to head
He's
turn.
just tired. I don't know.
All right.
all.
He's always tired.
Just tired? Yeah. I mean, being an emperor must be taxing.
Yeah.
His food's very good.
Yeah, back in Artis's room, he just has a sneezing fit. There's just something.
Forgot to take my allergy pills.
Hay fever.
Also, it probably helps that my uncle was a friend of his, so I should probably, when we get back, I have to thank Uncle Rian for really greasing the wheels on diplomacy.
Really cool that your uncle and my brother were friends.
Hey,
Is your uncle a nerd too?
he's a troublemaker. Like she thinks back to all the stories he's said and just like has a little bit of a mental reel of the things that her dad has explained about Uncle Rian and his grand escape, and she's just like, he's definitely a troublemaker. So of the nerds, he would probably be the most cumbersome.
Oh, he gets along with troublemakers too.
And she looks at him. She just looks at you, and she's just like, "Oh, yeah, I can see that." Trollmaker's your sister. It's familiar. Explains why he gets along with you.
All right, I think that's a good place to end. So we'll say that you guys have your party, and then you can retire to some rooms, and we'll go around and do our favorite spots, favorite moments. Other groups call it stars and stripes, where they give stars to other players, and then stripes are like what they want to see in the future.
Or like stars and wishes.
Stars and stars and wishes.
I like stars and wishes.
Stars and wishes. That's us. All right, so we're gonna start with stars. Michael, what did you like that another player did?
I mean, I was keeled over
We broke you.
with artists painting and just the pure talent that is Ciara. It's like, we gotta do this now. Just have to do this now. There was a paladin. There was a wizard. I can't do anything with this.
This is not workable for me. This looks bad. Optics.
Just the combination of that and then having to, and like making an Arcana check and there's magic room. Like, yes, I have to undress you. Worse. Oh.
The impotent rage in her mind. I can't do anything. What's this?
It was chef's kiss. It was too perfect.
I'm sad McKenna's not here. She would have enjoyed that.
You'd have a lot of kicks out of that one.
Oh my god. I'll have to tell her about it.
We'll just show her it.
I was just waiting to cut back where I'm like, yeah, Ciara's been gone for a long time, so I guess I'll just tell Ari her entire story. She's so cool.
We found her. She was partly eaten by an alligator. She survived because we helped her. She helped us get out.
Okay, let's go to Amelia. What did you enjoy then?
I also died at Aria's painting. That was
Still good.
that was hilarious. I also really loved when Ellie was like, she just wanted to be blue at the beginning, trying to.
She's just
my Ellie logic is just like, we're in a place with a lighter color. What's the blue?
In Ciara's mind, she crouched next to Ellie and she was like, "Oh, they know what drow look like, love. They know. Doesn't say anything. She's just like, yeah, see if he takes it.
No blue.
So Brenda, what did you do? Are you still on?
Well, there was the one other thing was I loved that the pen pal name was Superstar 67.
I like that too.
So
That is chef's kiss. That is the best. Perfect.
Sorry that
He had Superstar 67.
I'm Superstar 67. Superstar!
Not here. So what I liked was I did love the blue thing, but I really liked that Ellieisms, like, I'm gonna talk to the cat as a cat and then continue to talk as the cat because the cat can talk common. I understand common, but I'm in cat mode right now, so we're just gonna hang on that.
I mean, like, Ellie's kind of spent most of her life as a recluse, and her closest friends is animals. So
she just defaults to animals.
Just keep animals.
It makes sense. And so I loved that all of Ellie's, like, honest isms is the best thing. We're just like,
Yeah.
this is great. It's like I'm walking on sunshine is constantly just blaring. And don't it feel good? And Ari's whole like lie thing. Just
You just invited me to the party.
So if you look really closely, brother, you will see that this is technically your fault.
It's so good.
So that gets me. And Noalia is just coming clutch for like 2 keys. She's like an MVP, and at this point Ciara's like, we're not leaving her behind. If she falls in love, we're taking whoever she falls in love with us because that's essential. She's an essential. You're an essential player. You know how sneaky you are. Can I adopt you? Wait, Deirdre, can I take your daughter out to hang out? To ask your man, he can come out to play. And the panic thing with Ardius was like, I really did love doing that because I don't get to show Ciara's panic on blast very often because she just is internally like fearful and freaking out all the time. But she's like, stiff upper lip. All right, got it. And this moment, there was no one there to have to be like stiff upper lip for. She's like, you, why this now? The doors. I could have done this any other time. This, it's like, smack. Just like, wait.
Down.
Yeah, because she's just like, I'll hit him. Not military. Royalty. All right, pat.
There's a wizard.
Yeah, even the wizard could have like sent reinforcement to send a message. Did you know that? Of course you do. You're a wizard. Of course you do. You're a wizard. Just
It was hilarious that she was talking to him.
Angrily talking to this unconscious man.
There's like this unconscious man who she has to vent her frustrations outward, and since no one's in the room except for he's in the room but he's not here to hear it, she can just go off. She's like, all right.
Please draw that for me.
Just like, you. Just so you guys know, if she's ever alone with any of you guys and you guys are unconscious, same treatment. This is just bar.
All right, good.
Do you know what your brother would do if you knew?
So, okay, the parts I enjoyed were all the ones we talked about. But I really enjoyed the escalation of like Ari's lie, where like talking to Aunt Serena, and she's like, "What is like? There's no one on the schedule. What are you talking about?" And then like Arceus comes in, and he's like, "Do you care to explain how the augmentation room was broken?"
That was really good.
Because like they're like perfect, we had all of our bases covered. It's totally not gonna be weird that Ellie is already here, even though
Yeah, she came in through the explosion one.
and the overlook of the augmentation room and everything. Oh gosh, it's just a panic. When I planned that, I was like, this is perfect. It's exactly what I wanted to say. All right, let's talk about, this is where we're talking about wishes and what we want to see more of. And I just want to see more shenanigans with the gang.
Yeah.
I really like Ari like turning the logic back at people. You know, actually, this is your fault.
That was really good.
Such a teenager thing. I love it.
This is like classic youngest sibling. Like,
You just invited me.
This wouldn't have happened.
well, it's technically your responsibility. Because
Wait,
if
you're-
I'm bored, trouble happens. You know this.
We can't.
You knew I wanted to go.
You knew I'd
That's why I
always
went.
want.
Sorry.
You know I love parties.
The
How
ball
could you do that?
going to.
You're not invited to mine anymore. Man.
Okay. What do you want to see more of?
I don't know. That was really good.
Okay, more situational humor.
More of that.
Okay, Michael.
I'm a big fan of Arceus, especially with like this party and just well, one, how chaotic this party is, and two, how I mean, basically all of our characters are kind of chaotic, especially Ellie, and just like Arceus is like this perfect foil to like Ellie's energy. It's just, she's like, I don't understand anything that's happening to his face. I like being able to talk to Trump. Like, It's not a mode. It doesn't show happiness or sadness.
Doesn't he? Right,
Yeah.
alright.
I like that Ari comes in and like defends him. And he's like, "I'll be nice to you." You know,
Yeah.
He likes you. It's just like,
you're the best. You know, just like it's
she's
so
like the
sad.
social lubricant for him. She's like, oh, no, he's very friendly. Him. I am an emperor. Please don't get too close to me. Please don't touch me.
Yeah.
Why you're sitting so close? I don't want hugs. I want to sleep.
So glad to see him.
And
Okay, so
It's like this day just got longer.
yes,
I already had to do a party.
yes.
And now I have to deal with this.
Now I have to deal with
so
a
many
second
revelations.
party. And I have to be a parent. It's just
I think I love character interactions. So like with PCs and NPCs, it is always great because working off of like great situations or like little tidbits where you talk, like I like that about this. I also like creative solutions to non-combative moments. So it's like, yes, we have a rogue. Yes, we have a distraction. Yes, we have a way out. So it's like, I like working together to do that. So like solution building and then character build through story roleplay. So that's always really fun for me. So and this we get to explore all of Ciara's very deeply seated panic.
Yeah.
I am excited. I feel like it's a really good place.
These roots go deep. They're so deep and they're all screaming. This tree may look strong, but there's so many roots of fear.
I'm excited for more interactions with Ellie and Ari. Just because like Ellie's trying to learn to be a princess and like Ari is kind of a mentor, but probably not the mentor that she needs. But Ellie sees it as like, oh yeah, she's also a princess, so she obviously knows what I'm supposed to be doing.
Dancing is clearly the most important thing about being a prince.
I'm really excited to see how Ardius is going to handle two of you. Because there's like one Ari, and now there's Ari Ellie.0. It's two chaos children. Oh, excellent. Ciara's just going to be watching this like...
They also really vibrate at high speeds.
Internally, Ciara, I almost feel sorry for him. No, never mind. I do feel sorry for him. That's a lot. I absolutely feel sorry for him. He has a heart condition.
And Ari only makes it worse.
Subtext when he hugs her, he's like, "You're actually gonna kill me one of these days." It's actually a dark, sarcastic joke.
Yeah, this little fatalistic humor. Yeah, I need that. And if I don't
her
laugh, I'll cry.
dark, sarcastic joke back is I'm gonna give him a heart attack.
Yeah. I'm so glad we had a moment where sarcasm can come out. Yay.
There was a lot of great moments here.
This was pretty funny.
Okay.
That's good.
Wrap it up, guys. We have like 4 hours of this chaos, so thanks for watching. Bye.
Hello, this is Tiffany, your DM. Thank you so much for listening to Dungeon Damsels. We really appreciate all your support. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps us out. And if you're interested, we also have a Patreon as well as a podcast version of our show. You can find it on Spotify, TuneIn, Podcast, Podbean, and pretty much anywhere where podcasts are. Thank you again so much. We hope to hear from you soon.